Weevil Underwood, the Duelist Kingdom Champion, and he's still cheating. Hey there everybody, it's me, Cooper here, and I am going to be talking about the final character to be appearing in the Battle City tournament of the Dynasty series. Character number 20 will be the champion of the Duelist Kingdom series, Weevil Underwood, who actually played a major role in Battle City by taking on Joey Wheeler and cheating against him. Of course, he couldn't help himself. He got a kid to sneak a parasite into Joey's deck. But we will ignore that and we will focus on what Weevil is today. So going into this, Weevil's new ace monster is the Insect Queen. The Insect Queen is a very interesting monster that has 2200 attack, 2400 defense, and for each insect on the field, both your side and your opponent's side, it gains 200 extra attack and defense. Also, in order for her to attack, she must tribute a monster. She devours said monster and attacks the opponent. Kind of a brutal card, but you know what? It still works. It's a Panther Warrior, but with 2 tributes. But at least it gets its buffing stat, and if it does successfully destroy a monster by battle, she summons an insect token which she can devour for later. But it is summoned in attack mode with only 100 attack points, and is in pretty big danger of your opponent just attacking it for damage. You know how it is. So Insect Queen is a double-edged sword, but it can be a very powerful monster, especially with Weevil's combos. So, speaking of Weevil's combos, we're going to be getting into his rare cards. And the rare cards we're going to focus on for Weevil don't just come from Battle City, because Weevil needed some more cards. I went into the Seal of Orichalcos arc, and I found what I could find. So, the other cards we found for Weevil are the ultra rare cards, DNA Surgery, and Jade Insect Whistle. These rare cards are going to affect the duels heavily. Though DNA Surgery, what it does is it can transform every monster on the field to one type, and that type for him will be Insect. Anybody playing Weevil must understand that all you have to do is pick Insect type, and then that will be super helpful for you because it combos with one of his other spell cards, which creates an infinite stall duel, but we'll ignore that for now. And his Jade Insect Whistle, what it does is your opponent must select one insect type monster from their deck and then put it on top of their deck. It's super freaking annoying. So basically, yeah, your opponent gets one insect monster, but wait, what insect monster could possibly be in their deck? Almost 99% of the people in this tournament don't run an insect monster. So, Weevil might have to give them one. And you know what? His monster Parasite looks just like the one he wants to use. So, let's go ahead and dive into Weevil's attack stat, and that is not good. He is below the average because Insect Queen, 2200 for 2 tributes is not the greatest, but I know it's guaranteed 24 because she counts herself as an insect. Either way, she could be stronger. It's not that great. I have given him the Insect Princess. This monster has 1900 attack at the very least. Now, it's a 1 tribute monster, so it's 300 below the average, but if it kills an insect monster by battle, DNA Surgery helps you with this one, she is able to gain 500 attack points permanently. That is super good. But at the same time, her average attack, the average attack stats all we're looking at right now, and it is below the average because his best beater monster, I shit you not, is Flying Kamakiri number 1 at 1400 attack. It is pathetic. Weevil Underwood is pathetic when it comes to that. His strongest monster, which is the reason he doesn't have a red attack stat, instead he has orange, is because it is the perfectly ultimate Great Moth. That is right. He still runs the Great Moth combo in Battle City, so he still has it. He still has Petite Moth in his deck, which brought down the average, and Cocoon of Evolution in his deck, which really brought down the average. But that's okay, because it increased the average of a different stat, and guess what? We're about to start talking about it right now. It is Weevil's defense stat is average. It's not the best. It's not the worst. The reason it's average is because Cocoon of Evolution is amazing at 2000 defense, and the rest of his monsters suck ass. He has Gokibori at 14, terrible. He has Pinch Hopper at 12, terrible, but good effect. Flying Kamakiri at 900, terrible, but good effect. Maneater Bug, terrible, but good effect. Kisatai, Maneater Bug's a gift from me. Kisatai, not even an insect monster, but that's why he runs DNA Surgery. Laguhole. so bad. Oh my god, not a single card in this deck is worth talking about. Literally, the only reason he gets average defense is because Cocoon of Evolution saved his life, and Insect Queen has 2400 defense, which is pretty freaking solid. Obviously, Perfectly Ultimate Grey Moth has 3000 defense, so that kind of messed up the average as well, but what are you going to do? He also has the card Insect Barrier, which stops all insects on your opponent's side of the field from attacking you, which I think is really freaking busted with DNA Surgery. We've seen it stall out a duel against Kaiba, but Kaiba's AI was stupid. We have real humans playing now, so hopefully they're not that dumb. And also Parasite. The effect of this monster, when it gets summoned... Well, okay, when you flip this card, you put it in your opponent's deck, and then when your opponent eventually draws this card, they're forced to special summon it, and they take 1000 burn. Plus, every monster on your opponent's side of the field becomes infected, and they all become insect monsters. So if you lose your DNA Surgery, you still have the option to use Parasite. And even though it's not the most reliable creature in the world, it still does 1000 burn at the least. So let's go ahead and move on to Weevil's speed stat, which is a little better than last time. I know, it's still terrible. Horrible, actually. But a little better than last time. And the reason it's a little better than last time is because he runs the card Pinch Hopper, and because he runs the card Insect Imitation. Now, last time the only reason he had one was Flying Kamakiri, and that only could summon Killer Needle back then, so that was still terrible, but whatever. This time he has Pinch Hopper, which when it gets sent to the graveyard, then you get to... when this card you control, so it has to be on the field, gets sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one insect monster in your hand, be it Insect Queen, Insect Princess. You can't choose a Perfect Ultimate Great Moth, sadly. But you can choose any insect in your hand and special summon it. It's really freaking busted. I think that's a good card. Plus, he has his Insect Imitation spell card, which what this does is you tribute one monster on the field, your side of the field, special summon one insect monster from your deck whose level is one level higher than the tributed monster. So basically, let's say you got your Cocoon of Evolution at 3 stars, you tribute it with your Insect Imitation, you can special summon a level 4 insect from your deck like Pinch Hopper, Gokibori, or Flying Kamakiri. Vice versa, if you happen to summon an Insect Princess, you are able to Insect Imitation it up into an Insect Queen, because they are one level different. So you could actually summon an Insect Queen from your deck by getting rid of Insect Princess. Not really a bad combo either. So yeah, that's basically what these guys can do. The speed stat's still absolutely terrible. He does not run much of this speed potential, but at least he has it now. Getting into his skill stat, that's where he finally jumps above the average on something, because this man has cards that can actually do stuff. Parasite is a burn card that converts things into insect monsters. That's great. Insect Princess's effect says that all insect monsters in your opponent's side of the field must be in attack mode. Even if she attacks a face-down defense position monster, it's flipped into attack mode when she attacks it. In other words, you're always going to hurt them. You always do damage to them, which is really freaking good. He runs Yugioh. Yugioh is a 300 attack point monster that can attack directly. I don't care, that's tactical. He runs the card Kisatai. Kisatai, what it does is it's a weird fiend monster that attaches to your opponent's monster like a Blast Sphere, because if you're set, your opponent's monster attacks it, it attaches to them as an equipped spell, and then every turn you heal for half of that monster's original attack stat. Oh no, just attack stat. Oh boy, that's even better. Increase your life points by half of the monster's attack stat. He runs Multiplication Advance, that part of his speed, I guess, but he already had that before. He runs Eradicating Aerosol, which can destroy all insects on the field, which means if your opponent is using, if you're using DNA Surgery, you can wipe out your opponent's field, which I think is really good. Other than that, I don't know. I think, the rest of his skill stat must come from the fact that, oh yeah, he has Skullmark Ladybug as well. That gives him another 1000 life points. Yeah. So he does have his burn cards, he does have his stall cards, Insect Barrier, DNA Surgery. He has his other cards like Insect Barrier, Insect Princess, or, sorry, not Insect, DNA Surgery and Insect Princess. Parasite would just burn and buffs Insect Princess because they all become insects. All of this stuff combos together. His skill stat is above the average. But that's why we need to get into his brick stat, which is no longer unbrickable. He is rarely bricks. The reason he is rarely bricks, he has the Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, he has Petite Moth, he has... Oh boy, let's get into the list. Insect Barrier without Parasite or DNA Surgery is a brick. Jade Insect Whistle is a brick unless you can get Parasite into their deck. Let's see, what else is a brick in here? Insect Queen, technically, but that's what Pinch Hopper's for. So I guess, you know what? Not too many bricks. That's why he rarely bricks. He does have a couple, though. Oh, and I forgot the Infinite Loop Cockroach Knight. That's a card that could definitely brick you up. You got to be very careful if you use Cockroach Knight. Okay? It's a monster that every time it hits the graveyard, it goes back to the top of your deck, and you don't want to draw this card. It has 800 attack, 900 defense, so that could also brick him up. So for our champion, Weevil Underwood, the guy who won the Dynasty series, the first season of it anyway, his potential is unchanged. I know this seems kind of cruel, but I stand by what I say. I don't think he should have won the tournament in the Dynasty series the way he did. I think I got unbelievably lucky with my top decks. I think I was playing like a protagonist. That's the only reason he won that. So instead, I'm going to just say this. He is good, but he is not good in this. In this, he is still a 1-star character. He is not going to win the tournament. This time, I mean it. Even if I get him again and I somehow win it again, I will call bullshit. I should not have won. I don't know how I won. This is some bullcrap. And Weevil will not be winning this tournament either. He will be lucky to get past the first round. And if he gets past the first round, I'm going to start sweating. So that's going to be it, everybody. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. I hope you enjoyed Dynasty series. We're going to be getting into the tournament, but first we have to get into the wheel that chooses everybody's characters. Every one of my friends will be receiving 2 characters, meaning 16 out of the 20 characters will be used. 4 will be left out just like the last time. Hopefully not 4 of the same people from last time, but we'll see. We'll see. That's going to be it. See you all when we spin that wheel, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.